Action figures, action figures. This channel has been absolutely inundated with action figures in these past few weeks or even months. And guess what? This video is no different. We are going to be talking about even more action figures. So this is Bruce and Studs, and welcome on into another Besides the Bricks video. And in this one, we're going to be talking about something that I got very recently in the mail. I finally got my Infiltrators. So let's see what we got over here. And here we go, people. We have the boys in blue Ultramarines Infiltrators. Let's see exactly if JoyToy upholds their high standards. And I'm sure, you know what, they will, because I've already done the review on the incursors. So enough about me talking. Let's jump in onto the review right away. All right, folks. Let's rip into this Infiltrator box and see what we have. And as usual, I believe this Infiltrator box should be like any other JoyToy box that I have reviewed, in that there are going to be 4 separate figures inside of this box, each individually wrapped inside its own box. And look how nicely crafted this box is with your Infiltrator Sergeant. We have the other 3 Infiltrator Infantrymen. So, without further ado, let's bust open this bad boy. And as I predicted, and as you know, as you see in the rest of my videos, it comes in 4 different separate boxes. So we have the first of 2 boxes right over here. We have the Sergeant on the right-hand side and another Infiltrator on the left-hand side, a regular person. And then we have another regular Infiltrator as well as your 4th Infiltrator. Let's start with regular Infiltrator number 1. So we shall see what we have. And another high-quality model produced by a JoyToy company. We have your standard 1 to 1/18th scale model here. So this guy is supposed to be huge, burly, and very ripped. As you can see here, this is a very high quality model. There are highlights, as you see right here on the top of the pauldron, as well as over here on this side of the pauldron as well. The highlights extend to the rest of the entire model. As you can see here, you have the feet, as well as the boots, as well as the kneecaps that are just very highly detailed. And then over here, nope, you don't really have too much of a highlight up here, but maybe you would have something like a Storm Host Silver in this color, which is a very bright silver. But unfortunately, this is probably just like a, I don't know, maybe a lead belcher or something like that, which is my favorite silver color anyways, if you're actually a fan of painting Warhammer models. And of course, this is in the Phobos armor, as you can see here. But like I said, it's very highly detailed and has a ton of highlights, as well as, I don't know if it actually has a lot of shading that's involved in here, but regardless, it is a very amazing model. And then you have the backpack with the Infiltrator comms array, the very distinct, I guess, 2-pronged communicator array. And it has, actually, very interesting that the backpack vents, they move around a lot. However, regardless, it's very easy to put these backpacks on, as it is kind of a snap kind of thing. And then right afterwards, you have the Marksman bolt carbine, and this is very, again, highly detailed, as I said. You have the scopes that are in 2 different colors over here that represent the lens. And you have, well, there's a lot of weathering on this thing. There's also a lot of highlighting that is apparent on this particular Marksman bolt carbine. So, without further ado, let's see if this particular intercessor can wield its weapon of mass destruction. As you can see here, it is very easy for you to slip on the bolt carbine into the Infiltrator's hands. And off to the side over here are different armaments, and you can basically mimic this in real life. So you have a holstered bolt pistol,
that goes off to the side right here as such. And I will have to say again that it is highlighted very, very nicely. This attention to detail is something that you would expect out of paying, you know, $25 for models such as this or an action figure. Moving on, we also have, if I could get this thing out, I suppose a regular pack of things. I suppose that you put like grenades or whatnot in this pouch, I suppose, these 4 pouches here. And lo and behold, you have a completed infiltrator. Off to the right-hand side, you have the bolt pistol, and you have the empty bolt pistol holster over here. If I could, again, get it out. These things don't make it very easy. So you can mimic this in real life, where you can say, hey, you know what? I'm going to put the empty holster on this particular model, and to reflect the realism, I'm going to take the Marksman bolt carbine out, and then, you know what? Put the bolt pistol here. So there's a certain degree of realism that you definitely would expect out of JoyToy models, and you are definitely getting it as such. And as I stated before, these models are fully articulate, so you can do a 360-degree rotation, and you can do a lot of different poses with regards to this thing. So that's one thing that I love about these JoyToy models. They're infinitely posable, and you can pose them however much that you want or little. Another thing that I wanted to show you is just the ease in which you can swap out different parts of this model. So the hands are attached by a ball and joint, so all you have to do is pop off the hand and then make sure that you have the right size of the ball joint over here. So just by looking at this, it seems like this ball joint is too small. Let's look at this ball joint over here. This is also too small. Maybe this is the only correct one that we have over here. This looks like it's the right size. It's the wrong size of the hand. So let's just see what we got over here. So it just theoretically should pop on, but like I said, the size is not correct over here, unfortunately. I can't really show you because, well, the size of the ball and joints are not the same. But regardless, if you accidentally pop something off, you can put it right back on, right there. There you go. We have Infiltrator number 1 done and reviewed. Let's move on to Infiltrator number 2, which is the Sergeant. And as you can see here, you probably have a frag and a crack grenade on this particular Sergeant's chest that's there. Again, it's a very highly detailed model with your highlights everywhere, to be honest, as well as the highlights in the armor over here. And you have this little pendant that is kind of loosely put on the Infiltrator. And as such, we have the bolt pistol that can be strapped to the side, the extra pouch that can also be strapped to the left-hand side of the Infiltrator Sergeant. It's very cool as such, and as yours truly fumbles all over the place over here, and you have the designation that this guy truly is the sergeant of the Infiltrator group. And then there's really nothing much to be said about the backpack. It is about the same, as well as the Marksman bolt carbine is 100% similar too. So again, there's really not that much different from the regular grunt model versus the sergeant, aside from you have the highlighted head over here. You can actually see that there are eyes and pupils, and that's been detailed, and there are some, I wish there were some highlights on the hair as well as maybe some of the head. But this is, again, a very, very awesome model that I really like. This is Infiltrator number 3. And let's see what we have in here. I would expect pretty much the same, as the Infiltrators actually do not have that much of a variety in their loadouts, which means they don't have, you know, assault bolt rifles or combat bolt rifles or whatever bolt rifles. I can't remember off the top of my head. So again, standard loadout. You have the Marksman bolt carbine, bolt pistol, holster for the bolt pistol that has the pistol that's on inside. I think the only difference between this and the other models is that this guy has the comms array that I suppose is supposed to be the one that's communicating all the different enemy positions here. And it is not a ball and socket joint, but you're able to put this on, as you just saw over there, and then attach this on the back, and follows the same pretty much build of the rest of the models. And again, as I said, this guy is special because he has this, I suppose, a comms array that he uses to communicate to his superiors on the battlefield. Again, we move on to the final infiltrator, and number 4. I'm not going to talk about the similarities, but I'm going to talk about the difference. And the only difference, I believe, is that this Marine has, I'm going to guess, probably 2 frag grenades or 2 crack grenades stuck to its chest, and pretty much everything similar to the rest of the infiltrators that are there. So let me line up the rest of the squad over here so that you can see them in their full glory. Voila, we have the full squad. So what do I really think about these guys? In terms of the build quality, as I said before, these JoyToy figures are basically, bar none, the best action figures that I don't really play with them, but I've owned in my life, I suppose. I have these guys on display, or will have these guys on display, and they're fully articulable. They are highly detailed, as you keep hearing me over and over again say, and I really like them. However, I believe that these guys are a little bit bland, unfortunately. There really isn't too much variation from one infiltrator versus the other infiltrator. So you have basically 2 of them that are very, very much similar to each other. Sergeant's a little bit different, as well as the ones with the comms arrays is a little bit different too. However, am I impressed with them? Not really that impressed compared to like the incursors, which had a little bit more variety with the Haywire Mine versus, let's just say, the Blood Angels Death Company Intercessors. Those are really truly original. Each and every single one of them had like a different feel with them because they had a different head that had a, well, different expression, and they all look completely different. And they also had a different equipment loadout, such as you can have one with a bolt pistol and the other one with a chainsword versus one with has assault bolt rifle versus, you know, what I just compared to you before. So these guys are a bit, unfortunately, bland in my opinion. There could be a little bit more variety. These guys cost about $25 each if you buy them or were you able to pre-order them from Games Workshop themselves. So roughly these guys are about $25 each. However, if you went on to another marketplace, they usually jack up the prices to be up to $150 total for these guys, which raises the total cost for each of them to around, I think, like $37.50 if I did my math correctly. So this is Sprues and Studs, and I hope that you enjoyed this review on the Space Marine Infiltrators, and I hope that you can make an informed decision whether you want to buy this or not. As for right now, you cannot buy this on the Games Workshop website. I believe the pre-orders have been closed for like 9 months. There are still opportunities for you to get these particular figures on the secondary market or another market directly. You can find them online, but are they worth $150? Like I said, I don't know. Please check me out for other reviews that I have done with regards to these JoyToy figurines. There will definitely be more coming on in a later time period. So please stay tuned, and I'll see you guys later.